happening, people? So today is October 17th. It's a Saturday. We at the lake, a little late today. It's about roughly 12 o'clock. Went bow hunting this morning, and so we got to the lake a little bit later than we like to. And anyway, we're gonna fight the wind today. I hope you can hear me. But we're gonna do a little vertical jigging with some metal spoons. Now, sometimes vertical jigging with metal spoons is very, very productive. Sometimes not so. So anytime you come fishing, that is just one method I always try sometimes when something else doesn't work. Now, I love to catch fish vertical jigging with these spoons. And anyway, let's take a look at some of my spoons some of you guys may be interested in. All of these spoons except for this one is a Castmaster, and I've used variations of sizes. These are the 1/8, I think these are 3/16, and this is a 1/4. I usually keep one like this tied on one of my bass rods for casting a long ways in case I run into some schooling fish. But these two colors are primary, the silver and gold are 1/8 ounce, and that's primarily what I jig for crappie with. I love the gold color, just always have. Gold's always been productive. Now, this is one we're going to start out with. This is a Wahoo jigging shad, and it looks a lot like a shad. It is a 1/4 ounce, way up to, well, there it is on the front, to 1.5 ounces. I think this company is out of, actually out of Florida. But these are some of the jigs that we're going to be using, and not necessarily we'll stay with this one. We may try a couple of them, but I like that. I like that gold and an 1/8. And I will probably upsize that hook just a little bit. Let's go over here. You can see I've already threw out a buoy over here, and I kind of marked where some fish was stacked up on this drop off right here, where it goes from about 10 feet into about 30 feet of water. And so we'll go over here and see if we can jig up a crappie. And I'm gonna take the GoPro this time and put it right on the live scope, so you can kind of maybe see the jig and the crappie coming up actually hitting. Now it looks like you can see the fish right here. That's where I'm headed to. They're out about 20 feet. And so I'm off, just they right around this old piling right here. You can see them. It's falling into the fish. Just twitching it. There he is right there. See him come up? Boom. See him come up? He's stuck. Boom. Right about now. Boom, you see that fish come up there and get it? I just dropped that lure straight down to that crappie. See that fish come up there and get it? I just dropped that lure straight down to that crappie. Pretty good. Like that. Alright, so we're a little sideways here. Let's see if we can track that lure going down. I'm right over top of the fish. Now I'm just barely twitching that lure. Right there. Right there. Let's see if we can track that lure. We see the lure's falling. The fish is actually behind us just a little bit. I let that lure fall down, and I'm twitching. Twitch. 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 Just barely moving that lure. See the lure come up out of them. I'll let it fall, and I'm letting it just barely fall, twitching, just lightly twitching. Boom, right there. There it is. Another good one. So, all right, now you guys have saw, I'm gonna see if I can get right back over and show you this action. Now, all right, lure's falling into the crappies. Now, once I get down to the depth of, either I'm gonna count it down or I'm gonna let it fall. Okay, so I know it's in the crappies, and then they're in a pretty tight ball. Now I'm gonna just twitch it, just barely twitching it. And every once in a while, sometimes I'll just let it sit there. And I can pick it up and I can let it fall ever so slowly. Now sometimes, since I've got this live scope, I can actually see fish actually coming up. Sometimes, and I say I'm gonna just bump it. I'm not doing anything radical, just barely bumping that lure. Waiting on the strike. Sometimes they'll even hit it with it just sitting still. Boom, right there, just like that. See that little twitch? Just a little twitch to make it flash. And there's our crappie right there. Just that little twitch. All right, now I see that those fish are about 16 to about 20 feet. Now, if you don't have a live scope, I'm getting ready to show you. So this rod here is 6.5 feet. So if I want to be 18 feet, I can drop that lure in the water, put the rod tip down. That's 6.5 feet. Raise it straight up, hold the line, let it down. That right there is 12 feet. One more time. That puts me at 18 feet right there. And I should be right over top of the crappies. If you see me raising the rod up, I'm trying to see the, boom, there he is right there. Now see, he hit that, I was actually lowering that lure back down slowly. And that's a good crappie right there. It's a good crappie. Nothing wrong with that crappie right there. It's a good crappie. All right, we'll go again. We're gonna ease up here. Now you noticed I just raised the rod tip up and lowered it real slow. Now I was controlling the fall of that lure as it fell. I just barely was moving that lure and he came over there and got it. Now I wasn't even in the bulk of the fish. Now these fish around this buoy right here, these fish are probably within a 20-yard circle, right? It's a hump right up underneath that buoy and it drops off and it slopes off that way. They seem to be concentrated right here. The bulk of them, they in a fairly tight school. When I work this, I'm just barely twitching. See the end of that rod? Floating back, so I'm just allowing the movement of the boat to actually float that lure. Just twitch. Oh, one hit at it. And one, if he hits at it and he misses it, drop it straight back. So you're gonna try different methods. So sometimes you just hold it there still, and the movement of the boat, the movement of the wind will move that lure around in the water. Like times you're looking down, and sometimes you could just lift the rod tip up slow, boom, and you just got bit just like that. Just that little bit of movement, lifting that rod up, caused a reaction strike, and that is a good crappie right there. That is a good crappie. Boom. So I'm a little bit past my buoy. Now you notice that time I lifted the rod up like this slowly, and that lure was coming up in the water column and it got a reaction strike. So now that I can lift my rod up, I hope you can see that. Now I'm gonna lower it, but I'm gonna control the fall. See how I'm lowering the rod slow? Now that causes that lure to fall slow like a dying shad, and sometimes that gets a reaction. Now you can't see that, but I know that I'm right above the fish because I'm watching it on the live scope. So I'm right above the fish and I'm just twitching, seeing if I can get some kind of reaction. Boom. One hit it, but he missed it. Now I got bit. I'm gonna let it straight back down in there. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, click that bell below. Hey guys, you remember, it's a wildlife, and I'll see you on the water.